They escape death, only to enter a town where redemption is made real. But what if heaven is built on a lie? Throughout this video, we're going to be discussing what happens in it, and I'm kicking things off with a punchy 3-word recap: legends, redemption, and choice. I'll also explore deeper themes, drop some slick flick facts and hidden details along the way, plus my final verdict to help you decide if this movie is a must-watch or a pass. Let's start. The film begins in the late 1800s as a gang of outlaws rides into the dusty town of Sweetwater. Their leader is the ruthless Blackjack Britton. Soon after, Blackjack orders the gang to prepare for a bank robbery. While the crew storms the bank, Sonny is told to stand guard outside. Inside, Blackjack intimidates the bank teller, demanding the safe be opened. When the teller insists he does not know the combination, Blackjack mercilessly shoots off one of his fingers to force him into compliance. Meanwhile, Sonny notices a prostitute named Dolly Sloan, someone he instantly recognizes from one of his favorite dime novels. Their brief exchange is cut short when the cavalry arrives. In a panic, a customer draws a weapon, forcing Blackjack to gun him down, sparking a violent shootout.
Hurry, let's go!
Amid the crossfire, Sonny sees Dolly struck by a bullet. He races to her side, but she dies in his arms. Devastated, Sonny rejoins the outlaws in their desperate escape. On the trail, he helps a wounded member of the gang named Badger, Blackjack's brother, who swears he can keep going despite his injuries. As the posse closes in, Blackjack orders them to push forward through the night. The following day, Badger collapses from blood loss and falls from his horse. As he lies dying, he begs Sonny to end his suffering. Though he has never killed before, Sonny reluctantly honors the man's final request. Moments later, gunfire rains down from the cliffs above. Sonny is shot in the leg as the posse reveals itself. During the pursuit, a bullet strikes the horse, carrying their stolen money. Blackjack tries to recover it, but Caven stops him, warning it is not worth the risk. The loot is abandoned, and the gang flees into a sandstorm, leading to a lush green valley. At the edge, they meet a Native American standing guard near a misty entrance to a secluded town called Refuge. Inside, the townsfolk react with cautious curiosity. The sheriff greets them.
Welcome to Refuge, strangers.
Thank you, Sheriff. Problem is, we wasn't due to get paid till we delivered the herd to Sweetwater. We was moving our herd up from Chihuahua when Patches attacked.
And Blackjack fabricates a story, claiming they are cattle drovers attacked by Apaches. The sheriff welcomes them, offering medical care, drinks at the saloon, and lodging at the hotel. When Blackjack asks to use the telegraph, the sheriff calmly replies that Refuge has no communication with the outside world. He then instructs his deputy to escort the gang to the hotel while asking a woman named Rose to bring the injured to the doctor. Flick fact, the residents are played by iconic actors. Sam Shepard as Wild Bill Hickok, Peter Stormare as Cavan, Donnie Wahlberg as Billy the Kid, Randy Quaid as Doc Holliday, and more. Before leaving, he reminds them that profanity is forbidden in town, except inside the saloon. At the saloon, Blackjack grows uneasy, sensing something is unusual. He suspects he has seen the sheriff somewhere before, though he cannot place him. He also notices no one in Refuge. Not even the sheriff carries a firearm. Meanwhile, Rose escorts the wounded to the town doctor. As Sonny's gunshot wound is treated, he feels an eerie sense of recognition. convinced he has met the doctor before. At the general store, the doctor privately meets with the sheriff, his deputy, the store owner, and a local farmer. He shows them bullets removed from the outlaws, pointing out that .45 caliber rounds are uncommon among Native Americans, casting doubt on the gang's story.
About as much chance of that as a one-legged man and a...
Getting out of this jackpot, I'm pinning it on Forrest.
And maybe they'll drop us a little thank you note on the way out of town.
The sheriff hopes they will leave without trouble, but the deputy urges removal by force. The others prefer peace. Back at the saloon, Sonny returns to his uncle's side. When Blackjack sees the doctor passing, he introduces himself as Jack Smith and invites him for a drink. The doctor politely declines, explaining he no longer drinks. As he leaves, Blackjack remains unsettled, unable to shake the feeling he knows the man. That evening, the ringing of church bells draws the outlaws outside. They watch as the townsfolk gather for a service. Afterward, Sonny shyly confesses his feelings to Rose, only for their moment to be broken by a drunken Caven. He orders Sonny to drag Rose to the saloon, crudely insulting her. Sonny refuses, standing up for her, which leads Caven to knock him to the ground. As he tries to force Rose away, the sheriff steps in. When Caven reaches for his gun, Sonny knocks him out cold. Sonny asks if Caven should be jailed, but the sheriff replies there is no jail in Refuge.
Y'all go to bed.
What the hell happened?
I didn't see, I think,
Well, likely somebody fell him.
After the sheriff and Rose leave, Blackjack questions Sonny, who lies, saying Caven passed out from drinking. The next morning, the sheriff sends for Blackjack through Sonny. Flipping through a dime novel, Sonny suddenly realizes the sheriff resembles Wild Bill Hickok, the legendary gunfighter murdered during a poker game in 1876. Later, Blackjack meets the sheriff, who brings up Caven's behavior and asks Blackjack to control him. Growing suspicious, Blackjack asks who knocked Caven out. The sheriff calmly suggests Caven simply drank too much. When asked why he carries no gun, the sheriff replies, "We've never found the need for one." Caven takes Sonny to the general store, where Sonny notices the store owner bears a striking resemblance to Jesse James, the infamous outlaw shot by his own gang in 1882. The man denies it, while Caven quietly steals ammunition.
thank you, sir.
Soon after, Caven arms the gang and Blackjack orders them to stir trouble. They raise horses, fire weapons, and throw knives at the church. The sheriff approaches Blackjack, asking him to control his men. Ignored, he stands by the church door as knives land dangerously close to his face. When a final blade is thrown with intent to kill, lightning strikes the attacker dead. As rain pours down, the gang is left stunned. That night, Sonny falls asleep waiting for Rose outside the church. He wakes to the sound of an arriving stagecoach. The townsfolk gather, greeting Dolly Sloan, who is inexplicably alive. The driver gives the sheriff a white flower and tells him he will be leaving Sunday at noon. As the coach departs, Sonny chases after it, but it vanishes into thin air. The next day, he sees the sheriff guiding Dolly through town. Convinced she died in Sweetwater, he confronts her, but she denies it, insisting her name is Ivy. Later, Sonny trails the doctor and pretends to draw a weapon, forcing the man to react with lightning-fast reflexes. Sonny accuses him of being Doc Holliday, the gunslinger who died of tuberculosis in 1887. The doctor calmly denies it. Sonny then realizes the truth about the town. The sheriff is Wild Bill Hickok, the deputy is Billy the Kid, the store owner is Jesse James, and the farmer is Lefty Slade. Only Rose's true identity remains unknown. Confronted, Lefty denies being Slade, until Sonny grabs his wrist and exposes an old scar. Lefty admits the truth, but breaks down when Blackjack's men attack his farm, forcing him to kill one in defense.
out of there! That's my garden! Get out of my garden!
Guilt consumes him, and the gatekeeper silently leads him away. Back in town, Blackjack escalates the chaos. The sheriff finally calls him by his real name and tells the gang to leave. Furious, Blackjack tries to strike him, but an earthquake shakes the town, forcing the outlaws to retreat into the saloon.
Clan, no!
What the hell is that?
Sonny sneaks inside and overhears their plan to destroy Refuge. Caven also reveals his intent to harm Rose. Terrified, Sonny warns her at the lake, where she admits her real name is Betty McCollum, the first woman hanged in Arizona for killing her abusive father. She confesses her love for Sonny, but insists they cannot be together. Sonny realizes Refuge is a sanctuary for the dead, giving outlaws a chance at redemption. That night, he pleads with the townsfolk to fight back, but they reveal the truth. If they live 10 years in peace, they earn a place in heaven. Violence would doom them. Angry, Sonny storms out, but is ambushed by Blackjack and Caven, beaten and left unconscious. Upon waking, he resolves to defend the town alone.
Yeah, Sonny.
At dawn, he straps on his guns. As the bells ring, the townsfolk go to church, but four figures step forward to fight. Hickok, Holliday, Jesse James, and Billy the Kid. Inspired by Sonny's courage, they join him. A brutal shootout follows.
I have no mother.
The odds are getting better!
With the outlaws falling one by one, Caven wounds Sonny, but Sonny kills him in return. Bleeding but alive, Sonny earns Hickok's respect. Blackjack faces Hickok, but is finally outmatched and executed.
Wild Bill Hickok. I reckon the odds are against me now. Put that gun belt back on. We got one thing left to settle. That's you and me. Look at Blackjack Britton.
The gatekeeper drags Blackjack and Caven's souls into the fiery abyss. Suddenly, the stagecoach returns, its driver declaring that the four legends have earned heaven for risking their salvation to protect others. As they depart, Hickok hands Sonny the sheriff's badge. Sonny chooses to remain in refuge with Rose as the coach ascends into the light. And while it's filled with gun smoke, regret, and redemption, Purgatory leaves us with a story about second chances, the weight of choices, and the hope of finding peace at last. But Purgatory isn't just about shootouts and ghostly cowboys. Beneath the western dust lies a deeper meditation. Can even the most notorious outlaws truly change, or are they destined to repeat the same sins? Redemption here isn't handed out. It's tested through every decision. The town itself becomes more than a setting. It's a mirror of myth and memory, where legendary reputations are both glorified and distorted, forcing men to confront not just who they were, but who they still are. From another angle, the story is a parable of choice and consequence. Every action in Purgatory carries eternal weight, blurring the line between damnation and salvation. The film asks whether peace is ever earned, or if it's only granted when a man finally faces the truth of his past. Seen this way, Purgatory isn't simply a Western. It's a fable about guilt, justice, and the fragile hope of second chances. These themes show how Purgatory rises above a simple Western shootout, inviting us to reflect on guilt, justice, and the cost of redemption. With that in mind, here's the bottom line on Purgatory. It's less about quick-draw action and more about the inner reckoning between sin and salvation. It asks heavy questions about change, myth, and whether peace can ever truly be earned. On the flick verdict scale, I'd say, watch with caution. It's slow, symbolic, and layered, but for fans of allegorical westerns, it carries a quiet, haunting power. Bottom line, if you're drawn to stories where the real duel is with your soul, Purgatory delivers a contemplative ride through the afterlife of the Old West. Like films where shootouts meet the soul, subscribe and hit that notification bell. Flick Favorites is your frontier for westerns with deeper meaning. Comment below. Would you ride into Purgatory for a chance at redemption?